Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our monthly meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone who can stand and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'm calling the meeting to order, and if you have a cell phone, please silence it if you haven't already. But those who do not have a copy of the agenda or who are attending for the first time, we will concern ourselves first with the cases that are on the consent. These cases have been reviewed by the board and by the professionals in the county, and to which there's no known objection at this time. We've discussed these in our work sessions, and we have staff comments and stipulations have been made, and we do not anticipate any further discussion on these. So as we go forward, our county zoning manager, Mr. Peterson, will read each case into the record. Mr. Peterson will ask you that you raise your hand as your case is called, to signify you are present. If you are here in opposition to a case that is currently on consent, Mr. Peterson will ask for you to identify yourself, and at that point in time, when the case is being read into the record, we then will pull that case off consent and here as part of the regular case agenda. We then vote on all of those cases on consent at one time. Once we've approved the cases on consent, we will move to our regular case agenda. With that, are we ready, Mr. Peterson?
Yes, and before we begin the consent agenda, I do have two announcements to make. Variance case V101 of 2025, Preston Poor. This case has been withdrawn without prejudice, so we will not hear V101 of 2025. And then, Madam Chair and Board, we did get a request late to withdraw another case. The staff would ask the Board to withdraw V112 of 2025, Claudia Vitalis, and staff would ask you to withdraw that without prejudice.
I make a motion to withdraw said cases.
I second it.
That request has been approved.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals variance hearing consent agenda for September 10th, 2025. First case on consent is variance case V75, Martin G. Ndungu. Request a variance to number 1, increase the maximum allowable impervious surface from required 35% to 41%. Number 2, reduce side setback from required 10 feet to 5 feet adjacent to the southwest property line. And number 3, reduce the rear setback from required 35 feet to 10 feet in land lot 351 of the 17th district. The property is located on the south side of Miller Avenue, east of Old Concord Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, stormwater management comments. Number 2, development and inspections comments. And number 3, site plan received April 22nd, 2025, with stormwater management to approve the final site plan. Is the applicant present? Is the applicant here for V75, Martin G. Ndungu? Is there anyone here opposed to this case? Madam Chair and Board, there's no one opposed, and the applicant does not appear to be here at this point in time. Would it be the board's desire just to leave this one on consent agenda? Okay, so we'll just leave that on consent. All right, next case is variance case V90, Chris and Ellen Foster. Request a variance to number 1, increase the allowable maximum impervious coverage from 35% to 47.2%. Number 2, increase the maximum height for a retaining wall from required 6 feet to 10 feet. Number 3, reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 626 square foot pool terrace, for required 41 feet to 31 feet adjacent to the northern property line and 8 feet adjacent to the southeastern property line in land lots 1091 and 1088 of the 17th district. The property is located on the northeast side of Pine Valley Drive, north of Oakmont Circle. Staff recommends approval, subject to the following conditions. Number 1, stormwater management comments. Number 2, traffic comments. And number 3, dam breach study to be reviewed and approved by stormwater management prior to permits. Is the applicant present? Is there anyone here opposed to this specific case? Madam Chair and Board, the applicant is not present, and they're... Oh, are they? Okay. Sorry, I didn't see you, Mr. Huff. All right. So there, let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V102, Sedila Seed requests a variance to reduce the side setback required 10 feet to 0 feet adjacent to the eastern property line. Number 2, reduce the front setback required 50 feet to 40 feet. And number 3, allow for parking and/or maneuvering on a non-hardened and treated surface, which is existing gravel, in land lot 261 of the 19th district. The property is located on the north side of Murrier Circle, west of Powder Springs Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Oh, yeah, the applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V102? All right, let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V103, Bertha E. Over the Airs requests a variance to reduce the side setback from required 10 feet to 2 feet adjacent to the northeastern property line in land lot 208 of the 16th district. The property is located on the south side of Farmbrook Trail, south of John Arthur Way. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V103? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V104, Kimber R. Bell requests a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 2,400 square foot garage for required 100 feet to 40 feet adjacent to the northwestern property line and 70 feet adjacent to the southern property line. And number two, allow for parking and/or maneuvering on a non-hardened or treated surface, and that is existing gravel. And number 3, allow a second electrical meter in land lot 265 of the land lot 230 of the 20th district. The property is located on the northwest corner of Red Rock Road and Fords Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to traffic comments. And number 2, no commercial or residential dwelling use of the accessory structure. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V104? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V105, Gerald Missel and Anita Best request a variance to number 1, reduce the rear setback from required 40 feet to 38 feet. Number 2, reduce the side setback from required 12 feet to 2 feet adjacent to the eastern property line. And number 3, increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage from required 35% to 45.1% in land lot 81 of the 1st district. The property is located on the north side of Mulberry Drive, east of Johnson Ferry Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to number 1, stormwater management comments, and number 2, revised site plan received August 29th, 2025, with the Stormwater Management Division approving the final site plan. Is the applicant present? Applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V105? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V106, Nancy Carroll requests a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,000 square foot garage for required 100 feet to 3 feet adjacent to the western property line and 20 feet adjacent to the southern property line in land lot 199 of the 20th district. The property is located at the terminus of Stylesboro Court, east of Stylesboro Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to no plumbing or water service to be installed in the accessory structure. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case of V106? Okay, we've got 2 people. So pull 106 off the consent and put it in its regular order. Okay, so V106 is off the consent. All right, next case is variance case V107. James Ryan Smith requests a variance to reduce the rear setback from required 35 feet to 28 feet in land lot 256 of the 20th District. The property is located at the terminus of Shafto Street, north of Waterhouse Street. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? Applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V107? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V108, Nichelle Bell requests a variance to number 1, reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,600 square foot garage, required 100 feet to 31 feet adjacent to the western property line and 15 feet adjacent to the southern property line. Number 2, allow an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,600 square foot garage to be located to the side of the principal building. Number 3, allow an accessory structure, which is an existing 200 square foot building to be located to the front of the principal building. And number 4, allow for parking and or maneuvering on a non-hardened treated surface, which is existing gravel and wood chips in land lots 243, 244, 261, and 262 of the 16th District. The property is located on the north side of Peatshaw Road, west of Opie Drive. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V108? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V109, Terry L. Yeager requests a variance to allow an accessory use, which is proposed pool equipment to be located on the side of the principal building in land lot 242 of the 20th District. The property is located on the west side of Falkirk Lane, north of Tayside Crossing. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V109? Okay, yes, we have 2 people opposed. So we'll pull 109 off the consent also and hear that in its regular order. So V109 is off the consent agenda. Okay, variance case V110, Jonathan and Andrea Lamont request a variance to number 1, reduce the front setback from required 50 feet to 23 feet, and number 2, allow an accessory use, which is proposed pool equipment to be located on the side of the principal building in land lot 747 of the 16th District. The property is located on the northeast corner of Bunker Hill Circle and Bunker Hill Road. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V110? Let the record show there's no one opposed. And last item on consent is V111, Gregory and Kaylin Stefan request a variance to increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage from 35% to 41.1% in land lot 696 of the 17th District. The property is located on the north side of Lee Road, east of Pine Ridge Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V111? Let the record show there's no one opposed. And that completes the consent agenda, Madam Chair and Board.
Thank you, Ms.
Excuse me 1 minute to the board and Mr. Peterson. I would like to add a condition on V75, please, an additional condition.
Okay.
And this is from DOT. All new driveways and other driveway modifications should be permitted by Cobb DOT.
Okay.
Just a comment. If I could just ask a question of Mr. Peterson. I noted that there were some DOT comments regarding V102, but I didn't note that you made those a condition today. Is that staff's recommendation that we leave off DOT comments on variance 102?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'll go ahead and make a motion at this time for approval as amended by the deletion of the contested cases and the withdrawn case.
I have a second.
Second.
All right, thank you. Please place your votes. Approved. Thank you. If you're on the consent agenda, you're now welcome to leave. So do so quietly, please. Mr. Peterson, are you good? Okay. We're now ready to proceed with our regular cases. Our procedure is that Mr. Peterson will read the case into the record. The applicant and/or his representatives of the applicant or wishes to speak will be asked to come up to the podium here on my right, your left. Can't hear me? Sorry. All right, let me try again. Can now everybody hear me? Okay. Our procedure is that Mr. Peterson will read the case into the record. The applicant and/or his representatives, the applicant who wishes to speak, will be asked to come forward to be sworn in. Likewise, anybody in opposition should come forward and be sworn in for that specific case. The applicant and the opposition both have 10 minutes each to present their case. All testimony is made from the podium, and we have full AV capabilities, and so bring that with you, please. Testimony will be followed by questions from the board and may be directed to either party. Once the public hearing portion has concluded, we have no further comments from the participants unless they're asked by a member of the board, at which point you need to return to the podium. With that, Mr. Peterson, we're ready for our first case.
Okay, first case we're going to hear today is variance case V94. David Walker requests a variance to number 1, increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage, required 40% to 52%. And number 2, reduce the side setback required 10 feet to 8 feet, adjacent to the northern property line in land lot 228 of the 20th district. The property is located on the east side of Fernstone Trail, west of Fernstone Terrace. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V94? One. Let the record show there's one person opposed. All those who wish to address the board either for or against, please come forward to be sworn in.
Hello. Yeah, I appreciate y'all hearing from us again today. The second time. We were here last month. Just to summarize, I'm David Walker. I'm the homeowner at 6279 Fernstone Trail in West Cobb in the Brookstone community. We had submitted a variance, as was said, to exceed the allowable impervious coverage on our property due to a pool construction. After meeting the last time, getting some feedback and concerns from our neighbor and homeowner, we've put forth some revised documents here showing some further mitigation efforts in order to reduce that impervious, reduce the impervious down to below the max 40%. The unique thing about the property right now is we sit at 45%. We're already over. So one of the goals of this job, not only to put a pool in the back, was to improve the drainage as well as to get that impervious back down to the allowable number. I actually do have some water issues on my side of the house that the improvements that we're planning here is going to correct all that, as well as allow for the installation of the pool. The engineered stamp document we have here that will be submitted, and we intend to work with Stormwater Department to gain their approval on all this, shows the existing at 45%. We have a proposed increase of 5%, but we are mitigating that, mitigating about 11% of that by directing all of the drainage from the roof line in the back of the house over to a stormwater culvert. It's a recharger device, right? You dig a large hole in the ground and allows all of that surface water to be put back into the earth where it's originally intended. I believe it's an approved mitigation procedure by the Stormwater Department. So with that, with the installation of that device, we feel like we have, we're going to mitigate down below the allowable. It's going to correct drainage and water issues that I have on my property. And my neighbor, Ms. Seiler, who is here today, I believe, she has concerns about the work that we're planning and the potential of redirecting water or causing water damage onto her property. And that's something that we're conscious of. And with, the mitigation efforts we have in place, it will effectively reduce the amount of water that runs off between our two properties and direct it to the back corner into this device, and should alleviate any of those potential concerns. The one other thing I might add is, when we presented last time, my neighbor had some concerns about just the construction activity that was going to happen and potential damage to her property between our two properties. It is a fairly tight space. We have some images here to show you. There is about 12 feet from the existing, her existing retaining wall. It's a small retaining wall, and to my property line, there's about 12 feet. The small mini excavator that's going to be utilized to go to the back here and haul the material from the back of the house to the front is only about 7 feet wide, right? 7'6", I think?
6'8".
Oh, 6'8". Sorry. So you can see the wall with the columns on the left of the photograph. Is it to your left? And then my home is to the right. So, all of our traffic will stay on the right side, close to our property. We intend to put some silt fence or protection fence up just to keep things as far away from the existing wall as possible. The other data that we submitted, we're happy to share it if you'd like, was, the ground pressure of that equipment is actually quite light. It, the tracks on an excavator actually spread the load, and it only creates about 4 to 4.5 PSI of load on the ground, which is actually, almost less than a person walking through there. And with the matting that's going to be in and the excavator, there's really no risk or any increased load to the wall or to her property that should be of any concern. So, I think that was it. Do y'all have any questions for us?
If we do,
And
we'll call you, back up, okay? So just have a seat.
When we come back, do we have an opportunity to show any other images if we?
If we need you to do
Okay.
so. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
You
Madam
wanna show
Chair,
me that?
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
If they have other evidence they want to present, they should probably go ahead and do it during this time of the public hearing.
Okay.
During their 10 minutes.
Okay, let's just go through it
Okay,
real
that's
quick,
fine.
just to make sure we've accomplished everything. So, yeah, that's the image of what the backyard area is going to look like, and the green space that's in the forefront of the picture is between my property and our next door neighbor. Kind of that bottom left corner of the image is where the ground tank will be installed, with an overflow pipe running all the way out to the curb in case there's a failure, it does overflow. That water will be directed to the curb line, but we don't anticipate that happening. So adding a lot of landscaping improvements to the area, and like I said, collecting all of the roof drainage to that structure. Let's go to the next one. Just another view. That's the fence line. That's the property line between myself and Wendy. I think there was another concern about what we were going to do with the fence. It is her fence. We're not going to touch or disturb the fence. It serves the purpose for my property as well as her property. So that will remain as is. Next image. Next one. Again, do you want to show, let's show the dimensions of the, there was an image there showing the dimensions of the space. Yeah, so that is the space that we have. You know, all the tracked equipment will be on the right side. The small trees that are there will actually be removed as part of some finished cleanup and landscaping in the area, as well as that sidewalk. So the equipment will stay on the right side, so 12 feet overall, 6'8", so there is still 5 foot 4 inches, if my math is correct, between the two property lines to make sure that we stay as far away from there as possible. I think that's it. So, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Wendy Seiler, 6277 Fernstone Trail. I am on the left, if you're looking at Mr. Walker's house. Everything about my property is on the lower side. From his property, everything goes downhill into mine. So I'm here today just to express my concerns regarding the stormwater runoff, as noted by Mr. Heath at the meeting last month, that all of the water naturally flows toward the area between our homes currently, and with even more impervious concrete at 52%. It's not an ideal situation now. This is concerning, especially since Mr. Walker has advised at the last hearing that they already have water issues in his basement due to runoff. So my primary concern is not only at the time of the pool build, but long-term impact on water flow. If in the spring, during the heavy rains, again, I've lived in my home for 20 years without a problem. I'd like that to continue. And also, I'm still concerned about the equipment. There's going to be a lot of dirt to be taken out and a lot of bricks to be taken back for the retaining wall. So that's leading to just a lot of back and forth over that land. That's 12-foot door to door. That doesn't include any of the bushes. Like I didn't know that he was taking out the bushes. If he can take out the bushes and go closer to his house, that may help. But I'm not necessarily opposed. However, I do have to look out for my asset and express to you my concerns to help you look out for my property. Oh, that's it.
Okay. Ready, good? Thanks. You can be seated.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, let's start. John, if I could start with you. Is there any additional concern or anything we need to act on raised by the presentation of a structure, a cabana-like structure near the property line?
No, it sounds like they have a pretty good handle on what they need to do and what they need to stay away from. You know, if the board does consider to approve this, we need to make sure that they have a robust erosion control plan in place prior to disturbing the dirt, to make sure that, we eliminate the erosion that could go, I guess, north on the property, onto the neighbor's property.
So we don't need any variance regarding the structure that was shown, the
No.
partial wall? Okay. All right, well, let me go to Mr. Heath then, if I can.
Hello, Andrew Heath, Cobb County Stormwater Management.
Yes, sir. Have you had a chance to review the latest plan submittal?
I had a little difficulty downloading what they sent on Monday, I think, but I believe I saw the plan there on the overhead, and I'm kind of familiar with it. It looks like they do have a plan to capture the runoff there between the homes. The main concern that I have on that is that those systems work by trying to infiltrate some of that extra runoff into the ground. And so if the two neighbors are already having some runoff issues, maybe putting it between their homes might not be the best place for it, but it could either be put farther to the rear or maybe in the front, and either just pipe the runoff straight through between the homes. That way, you know, we're not trying to encourage infiltration where we don't want it to occur. But if we could have some latitude in the plan review process, I think, you know, we could probably work out a solution to that. So it sounds like they've given it some thought, definitely.
So that would be my next question. Is that something that will be adequately addressed in plan review, or is that something we should review here before it moves forward?
Yeah, I think we can address it during plan review if that pleases the board. That's probably the most appropriate.
All right. So my next question is, in plan review, do you consider the status of the project as an ongoing project, meaning a lot of exposed earth? And if so, what kind of protections should we have in place to prevent mud from flowing onto the adjoining property owner?
Right, that's a good question. Usually with any site plan, the county's erosion and sediment control department and community development would be doing that. But because there's a special concern here, we can definitely reach out to them, make sure they've got that, you know, covered, and we can raise some additional barriers to sediment loss onto that lower property there as well. So I think that that's something that they could handle as well during plan review.
Right. Typically, just one row of silt fence is required. Can you think of a practice that would provide a greater level of protection?
Yeah, along in sensitive areas, sometimes they put up dual rows of silt fencing, or you can use silt fencing in combination with something like a traditional hay bale or something like that to provide extra filtration and potentially just kind of redirect that water, particularly while there's land disturbance in place, redirect it on toward the front of the lot and not, you know, off onto the neighbor's lot as much. So between all of those different techniques, I'm sure we can figure out a good solution for them.
Okay. Anyone else has questions of Andrew? Okay. All right, thank you. One more question for the applicant, if I could. Yes, sir. Just want to be clear, under the new plan, are you still asking for a reduction in the rear setback from 10 feet to 8 feet, or is that now gone?
It's our preference. There's just kind of a tight space back there, and we're trying to just maximize the usable area there, but still leave some room to put some trees and plantings, which you don't see on that drawing, but to have room for landscaping between the fence and the paved area.
Okay. Are you fine with the enhanced silt fencing, dual rows of silt fencing? Is that something that can be employed here?
I am. That's perfectly fine. We'll work with stormwater or the erosion control department, dual silt fence, logs, hay bales, whatever it takes. It's a short run. It's a minimal cost for us to just ensure protection.
Thank you.
And the one comment about moving the drainage structure, we'll work with stormwater on that, but we do have it pushed to the back corner of the property. So it is away from, I know we didn't have a chance to review the drawing in detail, but it is back there in the corner away from kind of the drainage swale area that accompanies our property. So I think it's in a good spot, but we can put it wherever. There's a lot of flexibility there.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? No?
Mr. Willing, I don't know if this is something, and Mr. Peterson, you can chime in, please, as a condition that any disturbance or damage to the neighbor's property will be repaired to the neighbor's satisfaction before final permit? Is there something that can be stated that way? So if there happens to be an issue, it reverts back to the variance?
Well, that turns into a civil issue if he causes damage onto someone else's property, and that's something that this board really doesn't address.
Okay.
You know, the way we address it is with additional erosion control measures.
Okay, I'm just still concerned with the passage of the equipment going through the side of that property. Thank you.
Yeah, I have no further questions to the applicant. I'm ready to go ahead and make a motion.
You can take your seat, thank you.
So my motion is for approval of the variance, but with a deletion of the 52% impervious request down to 50% with mitigation as required by stormwater comments. And as an additional condition and requirement, due to the known sensitive nature of the area, that a second row of silt fencing be used and such other enhanced measures as may be recommended or required by stormwater. As to the request to go from 10 feet to 8 feet, my recommendation is to allow that.
Addison, you're completed. Do we have a second?
Second.
Place your votes, please. Okay. Motion passed, thank you. Approved. All right, Mr. Peterson?
Okay. Next case is variance case V97, Teresa and Andre Mitz. Request a variance to reduce the rear setback from required 32 feet per variance V26 of 2025 to 19 feet in land lot 336 of the 20th district. The property is located on the north side of Midway Road, west of Wild Stream Place. Is the applicant present? The director of the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V97? None? Okay, let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Good afternoon. I'm the contractor for the homeowner here. Believe the fence, the comments last time was we were worried about sound. So I pulled the closest property. It seems to be 137 feet. And it's right behind the pool. So even if we put a fence there, a 9-foot fence, the tape in the lower left-hand side represents 11 foot of my tape measure. And if the picture was perfect, you could see that that's the window above the tape measure of the adjoining property with that house 137 feet away. So we also, with the homeowner, is already inquiring about putting a 9-foot fence on the property line on both fences on the rear corner there. We also proposed that we could put green giant shrubs 8 foot apart, staggered, maybe for the first 30 foot to cover that house right there, right on the back side of that existing pool house. And then these are pictures of looking at the pool house, the right side, where they're just mature cedar trees that have been trimmed and with the bad lighting and what have you. So that area there is actually going to have a 2-story addition that would be blocking majority of all that space there, plus the 9-foot fence. Jamie Franks. That's all I have, unless you guys have something.
Okay.
Is the public portion closed?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're done there. We're finished with
I
you.
haven't started. Just inquiring whether the public portion's closed.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so, thank you. So we have no opposition here on this. Do you have some renderings with you regarding what this is going to look like? I know at one point there were two different sets of plans moving around.
We still currently are still working on the plans because we don't know if this variance is going to pass. But that was our proposed that we were working with when we started the variance.
Okay. And what you're showing us, can you,
Oh, there.
okay, good.
Thank you.
It's a lot
I
of
like it-
detail.
I like it much better right side up.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and identify which portions of the structure would be new?
So you have. So we have the, this whole lower spot here is a golf simulator. And we are actually, at the moment, this is actually, this area here is a lower, like a 17 by 11 room. Right now, we're proposing that we're going to tear that out and come out on this as well, on this lower level with a covered deck here. And then, depending on this variance, ideally, there's a 12-foot water feature in the underside of this, depending on which way we go with it. But right now, it was proposed to have a, an office upstairs, a golf simulator down below with a catwalk and a deck, viewing deck. And then the cabana actually went to the right about another 5 to 6 feet, trying to get better use out of that space, trying to make the back of the house fit the house, because the back of this house is a monster.
All right, so as we discussed on the phone, if anything, by doing this, you're basically enclosing the area between the pool and the nearest property line.
Correct.
Okay. So if anything, the sound should be reduced coming from the pool area towards that nearest property line.
Correct.
All right, and you're talking about putting a row, you're willing to condition this on putting a row of trees between the new addition and the property line, or is that row of trees already there?
So if we had the 9-foot fence on the whole back of the house here and coming all the way down here, the 9-foot fence is still visible over the top. So I propose that 30 foot of these true greens to be right in here blocking that house entirely at 30 feet.
All right, help me, you're talking about putting green giant trees in where precisely?
Right here, almost about where that first cursor is for my measurements. 30 feet to buffer this whole entire house that's hid back here.
I've never referenced the first cursor before. Can we say how long will that tree line be running roughly parallel to the rear property line?
I'm asking for about 30 feet.
How many?
30.
30 feet? Okay. So
Because
can
those
we,
trees go about 8 foot apart, and you can stagger them in and out on the back row another 8 foot for the full hedge.
all right,
And they get about 15. I think the landscaper told me we could go to 15 foot high, which would help with the privacy from that neighbor to the other.
okay, thank you. Any other questions from my fellow members? No? Okay. You can have a seat then. Thank you. Mr. Peterson, what other conditions or concerns was it the staff had that we need to make sure we've adequately considered?
Let's see here.
None? Nothing?
I'm not seeing any comments that need to be added as far as from water and sewer, fire department, DOT, or stormwater management. So probably just zone it, or approve it subject to the site plan that was submitted.
So you want this approved, subject to submitted site plan?
Correct.
Commissioner Berlin, I believe one of the other conditions that we spoke of last time was to limit the hours of work in between the home.
All right. What do you propose?
I think that they mentioned between 7 and 4:30 or 7 and 5 each day to keep down the interruption to the neighbor.
And we're going into winter.
You can come back up and address that if you like, or you can just nod if that's okay. Okay, thank you. 6 would be better? All right.
I think that's
Okay,
reasonable.
thank you. Thank you. Anything else from any other members? Okay. In that case, my motion, one more question, John, regarding the submitted site plan approval. If they make some of those changes he was talking about regarding interior walkways and things, are they going to have to submit a whole new site plan, or how?
Yeah, maybe approve it subject to the site plan that was submitted with stormwater management to approve the final site plan.
Stormwater management?
Yes. Just to make sure that the water's running in the proper channels and direction.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll take a shot at this and welcome anybody up here to correct me anyway. Motion will be for approval, subject to the condition that stormwater management have approval over the final site plan, and that final site plan shall not cause any portion of the building to be any closer to any boundary than the last submitted site plan. Additionally, subject to the condition that a 30-foot-long hedge of green giant trees be placed on the rear property line so as to provide additional privacy for the neighbor to the rear, notwithstanding the fact that house is a considerable distance away from this house. It's also subject to the condition that work hours on this project will be limited to the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Anything?
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All right, please place your votes. Approved. 4-0. Okay. Next.
Okay. Next case is variance case V99, Mashandra and Andy Ruffin. Request a variance to number 1, reduce the setback for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,250 square foot garage, required 100 feet to 2 feet adjacent to the northern and western property lines. And number 2, allow driving and or maneuvering on a non-hardened treated surface, which is millings, in land lot 489 of the 19th district. The property is located on the north side of Green Drive, south of Freedstone Way. The applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V99? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Madam Chair, as I am the district representative of this particular applicant and I have a personal relationship, I would like to recuse myself. Thank you.
Hello, come forward and present. You have 10 minutes.
Hello, good evening. My name is Mashonda Ruffin. I'm here for our address 1920 Green Drive, Southwest Marietta, Georgia. My husband couldn't be here today, and this is our second appearance. So first, I just want to thank you all for allowing us to work through some details, and with our mishap with the putting in our driveway, the concrete slab. We were not aware, we did talk to our contractor, but we wasn't aware, based on the size of our structure, that we couldn't be that close to the line. So did want to apologize, we didn't know about that. We did know we needed to get a permit for the building. So since our last meeting, we did, thank you for the direction on meeting with DOT. So we did get the driveway approval, and I did send that over to Ms. Berkeley, but did I need to submit that here? And I also sent a copy to John.
Yeah. I thought when I saw that permit, there was a slight diagram that you also sent to them.
I did. This is,
Give it to him so we can see it as well.
okay. That is the diagram that shows the picture of the garage that we wanted to build. And we presented this previously, but I know it's kind of small. I was trying to get it all on the page, but that pictorial you'll see right here is that's this image.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, you need to speak up a little bit.
Okay, thank you. This right here is the image of the RV garage that we want to put on the concrete slab. And over here is where my neighbor's house is and their driveway. This is the driveway for the garage that leads up to the gate that's right here. And then this is the narrow road, Green Drive, the main street.
Yeah.
And then this over here is the other entrance of our gate that's a smaller, the RV can't go through this part that leads to the house, and this is our house. And then up here are the other houses that are in the new subdivision that started there. And this is just the line that I have drawn there. Oh, sorry. And did you need to see the picture, a bigger picture of the?
Yes. And you're soft-spoken like me, so be sure you have the mic when you're talking to us because we can't hear you.
Sorry.
Be sure you have the handheld mic so we can hear you.
Oh. Thank you. And here is the picture of the actual RV garage storage building that'll go on the concrete slab, which that's this picture here, is this building. And we were originally want to do hardy plank, but we may just do stucco. The back of our carriage house has stucco on it, which is right here on this side of the house.
You can go to the microphone.
Yeah, the mic, yeah.
I'll just keep trying to take yours. You have any questions for me on that?
Is that all you have to say so we can close the public hearing? You can answer our questions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Close the public hearing. So just the building itself, you're going to have it match the building materials of your house?
Yes.
The other real concern we had was the surface, and you were over the allotted surface. Have you done anything to change your needs or change your coverings of the dirt that they will drive on?
Yes, so we reached out to, because I think we were only like maybe 100 and something over. And so we're just going to have it trimmed on the driveway part and have it all smoothed out.
So you're going to mitigate, so you don't need a request for any more impervious surface? You don't need to request more, an approval for over your allotted impervious surface, that's one thing.
No, they approved that. We had that all listed for the driveway requirements that they provided, DOT provided us. And so they approved it accordingly.
Okay. Do y'all have some more questions? I feel sure you do. Who wants to start first?
I just have a question, because at the last hearing, we found that Green Drive is a very narrow, one-way street practically. So the only question that I have is that how does, when you drive your RV into the property and then into the garage, how do you maneuver it out of the garage, turn it around to go back out onto Green Drive? Can you, if you put up that picture that you showed us,
Yes.
which was great, and then just point out the maneuverability of the RV.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we'll come in through the gate right here and go, and I couldn't make it around it, but it actually kind of rounds right here, the part of the driveway. That's kind of why we had made it a little bit too wide right here, but we'll go right here into the turn and pull forward and then back into the garage. And then when we, yeah.
And then to get back out, you do the same maneuver?
Yes, ma'am, we'll come straight out here, and so it's got enough driveway right here where we'll just pull out right here, and you can turn the RV and then come straight out.
So on the blue lines, I'm assuming that this is the driveway? So when you're pointing kind of a circular drive, is that, what, are you driving on a hardened surface? Are you driving on gravel? Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's on the milling. I didn't want to mess this drawing up, but you have a pen? I can just.
You don't have to do that, I just needed to.
Yes, ma'am. It's all milling. It's kind of, if you can imagine it, it was kind of like a curve. I guess I could have just did the triangle there, but it's enough space to go here. But this is all on the driveway part. And we had when we submitted it to DOT, they have the more graphical thing. Looks a little better than this picture here.
Thank you.
Do you know what the total height of the door is going to be, the garage door that'll open and close to allow the mobile home to go in?
Yes, sir. It should be like 18 feet.
Okay, so do you know what the total apex height of the garage will be?
The garage total height, and hold on, because I have that on the second page. Approximately 25 feet in height.
Okay. And the mobile home itself is about how tall?
Say that again.
How tall is the mobile home itself?
Oh, it's, gosh, so it's 40 feet long, and it's about, I think it's 15 to 18 maybe in height.
Those were all the questions I had of the applicant. I do have some other questions, though, of staff.
Yeah. I think that was our major questions. I'm good with where we are. If you want to sit down, please. I
Okay.
think, Mr. Phillips, we have some questions for staff.
Thank you.
Go ahead, you and Andrew. Yeah. Mr. Heath, you're the popular man today. Come on up again.
Hello, Andrew Heath, Cobb Stormwater Management.
So Saturday, I did drive down this narrow drive, green drive in the rain. It seemed like I think it was raining at the time, but I took a look around there. It did not look like the slope leaving this property going towards Freestone Way was terribly severe. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So, and then if you could tell us, within that treed area immediately behind them, is there a plan for a berm to funnel that water so it won't go towards the lot immediately behind it?
Yes, and I actually visited the site. In that treed area, it's not really shown there on the on that overhead that you can see. There's kind of a natural existing low area that heads off toward the subdivision to the north, the new subdivision. And further off would be to the right along that property line. They built a pipe system down there in that new subdivision to capture that. And if this may, I don't know if you can see that. Can I lay that on your? That's a picture I tried to pull up on my phone. This is standing, it's interesting, in this photograph, we're looking back to the east along the Ruffins, kind of generally the property line area between the Ruffins property and the new subdivision. The Ruffins property is on the right. You can see a little bit of that white concrete of the slab on the right. And then there's a 10-foot landscape strip between the Ruffins property and the subdivision. And then, but what I was trying to show with that photograph is that there's a little when they built the subdivision, they built a little berm between the two. And so water from the Ruffins property can't really get over that berm to go down to the subdivision. So it has to drain kind of down the hill toward where you see those new homes off in the background of the photograph. And then there's a pipe down there where it would go under and go down. So the runoff from the area, long story short, right where the garage would be built, it won't be able to go down immediately onto those lots behind them. So.
Okay. And you're comfortable with that system to handle the anticipated runoff?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I have a question, Mr. Heath, since you were out there. Where the concrete slab will be where the proposed garage. Are these just very tall weeds? Are they small trees in that area? Or is there there's a possible need that I'm looking at is possibly putting in some big green arborvitaes just to protect the future homeowners. So if you could describe that for me, I'd appreciate what that one section is by the concrete pad.
Yes. When they built the subdivision, they did plant some, I'm not a botanist, but there were some plantings there. There are some weeds that have come up as well, and so some of that green that you can see is just volunteer vegetation that grew up. But in some areas, maybe some of those trees either were incomplete or maybe they died or something like that. So if you wanted to more complete that screening, certainly those areas, those spaces in between where maybe there's vegetation missing or something could be supplemented and, replace that with something similar to what the developer had planted when they did that landscape strip. And that would help to soften that.
Thank you very much.
Are you comfortable now with them modifying that driveway and paring it down, that they'll meet their percentages?
I think so. That's my hope. If they exceed 5,000 square feet of impervious area, that was a trigger for us that they would need to do something with respect to stormwater management, regardless of what their percentage of impervious is. And we talked out there, of course, the concrete slab, that can't easily be changed and it wouldn't affect it much anyway. But the driveway is the other contributor primarily to the impervious area. And as you heard Ms. Ruffin say, she's, I think, willing to work on kind of maybe reshaping and kind of tightening up on that to make it so that they have the driveway where they need it and not be too expansive. And so as long as they can do that, I think we can reach a solution on it.
Okay, all righty. Anything else? Or, okay, thank you. Anybody else, any other questions?
Could I ask the applicant to come back for just a quick question, please? So between where your garage is and your property line, would there be enough space to fill in with some, the greenery, the trees that are currently there that are growing? I guess some have died. Is there enough space for you to put a number of trees just to protect that back of the property from the neighbors that will be moving in at some point?
Yes.
You wouldn't have an issue with that?
I was hoping it stayed a little open. We literally just cut down trees.
Oh, you cut those trees down?
Uh-huh, because we needed it clear there, because when they come in eventually to do the storage, they told us that, you know, for the garage, you can't have, it needs to be a clear space. So.
For construction?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay. But at one point, there were trees back there that had to be clear cut?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for your help.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Do you, it's nine. All right, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request with this additions before the final approval is given, that Stormwater Management also comes out and signs off on the impervious surface issue, as well as add trees where needed along the back of the car barn to fill in and screen that area.
Second, for purposes of discussion, and my discussion would be a request to include in the motion a condition that the same building materials be used as are already on the house, that it match the house, and the applicant's already indicated the willingness to do that, so that shouldn't be a burden. And then it would be subject to stormwater comments, just in case those are over and above any future recommendations.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Kim, do you have anything to add?
I second.
Thank you. All right, place your votes. Passes 3-0. Thank you. Next.
Okay, next case is variance case V106, Nancy Carroll. Request a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,000 square foot garage from required 100 feet to 3 feet, adjacent to the western property line and 20 feet adjacent to the southern property line in land lot 199 of the 20th district. Property is located at the terminus of Stylesboro Court, east of Stylesboro Drive. Earlier, there were 2 people here opposed. All those who wish to address the case or the board for or against, please come forward to be sworn in.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name's Nancy Carroll. I live at 4024 Stylesboro Court. I've resided there for like 35 years. It was a rental property for a short period of time, but I'm back in the property now. And I'm trying to get a 1,000 square foot garage built at the end of the driveway for a classic vehicle that we have side by side and our cars. It doesn't have any bathroom, nothing like that. It's just the structure itself. It'll be 25 foot wide by 40 foot deep. Here's that's the survey that we had done. Before I had the survey done, I went on GIS and printed out a picture and put, like, drew a little garage kind of where we were hoping to get it. And I went around to all of my neighbors and asked if anybody had any objections. The only one that had an objection was the gentleman that lives behind me. He lives to the south of me. And I asked him, you know, why or what he needed to know. He said, well, I need more information. I said, I've got everything here, you know, would you like to look at it? No, he said, I just like things the way that they are. So I don't know what his objection is to combat with you all, but this is, he lives back this side of me. And so after talking to him about it that day, I decided to go, because I had it at like 10 foot back there. So I moved it 10 foot forward in hopes that that might make a difference to kind of get it off of his property a little bit, you know what I mean? Get it further away from him. There is trees between the two properties to where you don't. There are trees between the two properties where you don't really see his house much. Here's, if I'm standing where the garage will be, thank you, that is, his house is behind those trees. But I would be glad if we needed to put some greenery, green shrubs up or something like that. I don't really know what else to do. I've never done anything like this, so. Is there any questions?
If that's all the information you have for us right now, you can go ahead and sit down and we'll hear from the opposition.
Okay. Thank you.
The gentleman in opposition, the couple in opposition.
Gay and Dennis Runyon, live at 1848 Kelsey Court. Different subdivision, but it's right, the backyards meet right across there as you saw in the picture. The picture looked really nice with the trees green and everything. But here we're gonna run into fall and the leaves are gonna come off the trees. And so we do have a very clear view of everything back there. Now, my concern is that this is going to be a large structure. It's 1,000 square feet structure. A typical two-car garage averages about 500 square feet. So we're talking about a pretty good size structure there. And I'm afraid it's the only structure that's anywhere around our neighborhood. We're living in different subdivisions, but that structure being so close to our property may devalue the property. We've been there for 30 years, and also, like I say, I don't know what kind of material they're going to use or any of that, so I don't really know what to expect. But it is going to be a big structure, and when we sit out on our deck, a lot of times we don't want to be able to see, you know, just the back of a garage, big garage in our neighborhood there, right in our backyard. So that's where we're actually coming from. You got anything you want to add?
That house over the last 30 years has also been very transient. I couldn't even tell you how many people have been in and out of that house. And we're just a little bit concerned what's going to happen if another year this changes over and we start over again, and who's going to put motorcycles or car repair, whatever, back there. And it's very, very close to our backyard.
So we don't really know what it's gonna be used for. I mean, you know, like I say, it's a big structure. 1,000 square feet is a pretty big structure to be in somebody's backyard. So, questions?
Do you have anything else?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. If you'd like to be seated, we'll close the public meeting.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You can be seated.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Madam Chair, we're back in District 1 because this is a garage or car barn, so we're kind of losing our luster, but we got it back right there. Ms. Carroll, can you come on up?
Yes.
First, tell me what kind of cars you plan to have on in here. You said classic.
We have a 81 Corvette that has been restored, and my husband has arthritis, so he has a side-by-side that he uses when he does like yard work and stuff. That'll be in there, of course, a lawnmower, and our 2 cars, and then just tools, you know, like a toolbox or whatever. And I can tell you what the structure will look like.
Okay.
It will be the metal siding, and we're going to redo the house after we get the garage built. We're going to redo the house to match the garage. It won't be the same siding, but it'll be the same color. Like the garage will be the metal siding. I can't think of what it's called. It's like steel. And then the house will be vinyl siding of the same color. And it'll be gray trimmed in white with a darker roof.
Are you fine with adding some trees behind this between your house and the?
Some greenery, yes, sir.
Greenery.
Absolutely.
Okay. And there's not going to be any commercial use of this garage at all?
Absolutely not. No, we're
Okay.
too old to be worrying about doing that kind of stuff.
No overnight or separate residential use of this garage?
Say what?
No.
No overnight or, no.
Do you have any photographs of what
What we intend for it to look like?
what the siding would look like, the building materials both on the roof and on the sides? Yeah. Okay.
That will be the house. Okay. I know this is kind of odd, but on the right side is what the garage will kind of look like from the road. And then once we redo the house, that's what we're anticipating the house looking like. They're not sitting right beside of each other right there. That's just a picture and a picture, but that's kind of what we're looking for there.
All right. Do you know a total height of the garage?
think 16 foot, but I don't think that's, I think that's the wall. I don't think that's the peak. But I'm not absolutely sure, no.
Okay. Is this something,
My husband's going to build it.
okay. Is this something that my thought at this juncture is for me to try to work through these objections over the next 30 days rather than do it publicly here? Is that something that you folks could live with if we try to work on this?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead and have a seat then, unless any of you have further questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have a question, I'm sorry, before you step down.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the time frame from the build of this structure, should it be approved, and the painting of the house so that it matches?
I'm thinking within 6 months.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So my motion at this time is to hold this for 30 days so I can try to work with the applicant and the folks who objected to reach satisfactory resolution of all those issues that have been raised today.
I second that.
All right. The vote to hold is approved, 4-0. 4 to 0.
Okay, last item on today's agenda is variance case V109. Terry L. Yeager requested variance to allow an accessory use, which is proposed pool equipment to be located on the side of the principal building in land lot 242 of the 20th District. The property is located on the west side of Falkirk Lane, north of Tayside Crossing. Earlier, there were 2 people who opposed. All those who wish to address the board, either for or against, please come forward to be sworn in.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Terry Yeager. This is my wife, Mary. We're hoping to put in a hot tub and a small swimming pool. And my wife's been more involved in that process than I have been, and she'll present our information.
I hope my photographs address the issue for you a little better than an architectural view, because our understanding is this variance has to do with the placement of the pool pump. So I'm going to give you a backyard view of our home. If you can see, the back view of our house actually has 3 corners. I've numbered them 1, 2, and 3. It's a small footprint of a house. Our goal is to put in a small, what I call a grandkid pool, a splash pool. It's going to be L-shaped, and if you can see closely on the far right side of the house, there's a dotted line. That's approximately where the pool will be located. Yes, and it actually touches that far corner 3 where the hot tub will go. Okay. The architectural committee approved the pool, and they were not happy with the location of the pump being directly behind the house, which is slightly inclined, and we are on a golf course, private golf course. So enclosing the pump at the top of the yard would create an obstruction to the golf course view for the neighbors. They did approve the pump. If you will look between corners 1 and 2, what I call an alcove, which is probably not the right term. It's a 6-foot deep alcove. They approved the pump to go there. It is level with the rest of the yard. Currently, there are 2 AC units there and a 7-foot wood pile. So let me give you a little closer view of the backyard. That's just showing if we put the pump at the backyard, it would obscure the golf course view. That's just a closer view. This one actually shows the golf course. That was not approved for us. So back to the alcove. This is a little closer view of the alcove. Does that help? Yeah. Okay. And even closer, showing the wood pile. The pump that's proposed for our smallish pool is one of the smaller pumps that'll be 4 feet tall by 8 feet long. This wood pile is 7 feet long, so that gives you an idea of where the pump will go. An even closer view. This, I wrote incorrectly 12 feet. That's actually 15 feet from our property line inside to where the pump will go is 15 feet instead of 12 feet. And we intend, there's currently two sets of shrubs that will be replaced with encore azaleas to cover the entire length of that wood pile where the pump will go. So we'll actually have 2 layers of shrubs on our property line between the pump and the neighbor's yard. This is just the actual, do we need this one? Okay, I actually have a photo of the pump. I don't know if this will help you. You all probably have seen more pool pumps than I have, but mine will be a little bit smaller than this. The noise factor per our contractor is, the decibels are less than our AC units. This is a quieter pump and a smaller pump. And he said 4 by 8 is approximately the configuration of the pump that would sit in that alcove of our home, not visible from the front of the house because of the corner. I hope that's all the information you need. I did submit more architectural information to the zoning board that I hope you have access to, those notes. Yes.
The only other comment was, we looked at putting the pump and filter unit in another location. Behind our house, between us and the golf course, it's probably, I'm guessing, 10 feet in elevation higher than our grass near where the pool will be. And he said that pump and filter unit really needs to be at or near the same elevation as the pool. And we really don't have anywhere else to put the pump and filter unit other than this location behind the alcove, because it's at the same elevation. So we're kind of stuck.
We don't. It was made clear to us we don't have another option in our yard as it is to put a pool pump other than that alcove. So, we have had, 2 meetings with the architectural committee, and twice that's what they told us. So, and that's all we have.
Okay. You may be seated. In opposition?
My name's Chuck Barnes. It's my wife Kelly. We obviously live next door. And in regards to the HOA and the ARC committee, we just met with the board Monday, and we presented our case to them, and there was never any mention of the fact that they could not put the pump in the back of the house as Cobb County permitting, requires. So the main thing, you know, that we have is both of the houses are close together. And their house sits above, you know, our house. So, you know, when you're in our family room and where we spend the majority of our time in our kitchen area, it's eye level to exactly where that pump is going to be. And so no matter how you try to landscape around those things, it's still an eyesore. And so, you know, no matter what you do, you know, that's going to be the case. And according to our realtor, J.D. Smith, she said that that could hurt the resale value of our home, you know, with that being there. We also live on a slab, and we had termites when we first moved into the house. And if there's ever a leak or a flushing of water, it's going to come our way. And we've spent a lot of money to try to mediate that termite situation with drainage and things like that. So, you know, that could be a concern, you know, with that pump being on the side of the house in that area. Also, I don't know how Cobb County guarantees, you know, how they're going to maintain that area. Or if they sell their house and the new owners come in, and, you know, what guarantee do we have that that's going to be maintained, you know, and look nice. And of course, the noise factor, you know, you can talk decibels to me all you want to, but it doesn't mean anything. The only way I'm going to know is, you know, when it's installed and whether I can hear it or not. And, you know, it's so close, you know, that could possibly be a problem. And not only that, our porch on the back side of our house is very close to this area too. And we spend a considerable amount of time out there, and, you know, the noise could be an issue as well. I guess, you know, what I don't quite understand is that if Cobb County permits these pumps be put in the back of the house, then, you know, I think our ARC committee didn't really go through the due diligence there to understand, you know, if you guys are permitting it to be in the back, then why would they allow it to be put on the side? And nobody from that ARC committee ever came to us beforehand and said, are you okay with this? Do you have a problem with this? And so, you know, I had to appeal that, which is what I did, and that's why we met with the board the other day. And in regards to the views, as far as the golf course view, we have no golf course view from our vantage point looking, you know, to where their pump would be behind the house. There's quite a bit of slope up from the where their house is up to the top there. So there's no view of the golf course, and I'd be hard pressed to say that the neighbor on the other side has a view of the golf course either. We don't have a view of the golf course where we are. We can barely see the top of the tee box from where we are, so everything slopes up in that direction. You know, I guess my last point is I don't see how it's fair or reasonable to ask us to have a full and close-up view of the pool equipment and pump that their variance request that seeks to eliminate it from their view. And my wife has pictures.
I have some pictures I'll share for you. And first of all, I just want to say I am totally not opposed to you guys building a pool. I'm so happy that you're going to have something fun to enjoy. Oh, sorry. I said, did you hear the first part? Okay. I'm happy that they're building the pool, and only thing that I don't like is the location of the equipment. Because when I'm in my home, as you can see this picture, this is my kitchen and my family room. And this is where I spend 90% of my waking hour. And I will get a better viewpoint of what I'll be looking at, but let me see. So that is what I call the heart of my home. And I just don't want to be able to look at pool equipment. They have a very big lot, and I'm sure they can find a different location to put it in. As you can see right here, this is where their brick pile is, or the wood pile. and that's where the pool equipment would be. So I got a very close up on it, and here is a better picture showing that right there with the wood pile. And then this is from my kitchen area. As you can see, I'll be looking directly at it there too. So it's just really the location of it. It says Cobb County wants the pool equipment to be in the back. And since we found out about this, I kind of just, got in a golf cart and rode around the neighborhood. And most everybody, from what I can see, has their equipment in the back of the yard. So that's all I'm asking them to do, is to put the equipment in the back of the yard so I don't have to look at it 90% of the time. But our homes are very, very close. They're up here and we're down here. So I'm looking at eye level at the equipment. It's so they're up here, I'm down here, and looking straight at it. And being very close too. And just going through the neighborhood, some neighbors go very elaborate and build buildings and put their equipment in very fancy to hide it from themselves because they don't want to look at it either. So there's ways of hiding it. If you want to build a structure, build a structure. But if you don't want to do that, then a lot of people just obviously put it in a corner of their yard, in the back of the yard, so nobody gets to look at it. And they can landscape it around it. And I don't have to look at it 90% of the time when I'm in my home. And here's some more pictures of just pool equipment that's tucked way back in the corner. Huh?
We need.
Oh, we're good, okay?
Yeah, we need to wrap it up.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. We'll close the public hearing.
Okay, let me get the applicants back up if I could. So who's on your architectural controls committee out there?
I'm sorry?
Who have you been meeting with on behalf of your HOA? Who's?
The first person we met with was, her name is Chris Thornton. She's one of the representatives for the architectural committee. She preferred it on the side of the house. We had the neighbors appeal that decision, and we met with the board liaison to the architectural committee, Mark. I know by his name, Mark. And he came out. We went over everything again with him and Chris, and he also agreed that he did not, I didn't mean to say that he disproved it in the backyard, but he did not like the idea of it going in the backyard on the golf course. Yes, many neighbors do have their pool pumps in their backyard, but not many on the golf course have a pool pump on the golf course and fully enclosed. It would obscure the golf course view for us and potentially whoever else lives there. So both of those people preferred it in what I call the alcove.
Do you know who runs the HOA at present? Do you know who is like the president of the HOA there?
Currently, I do not.
Okay.
I just could show you, again, this photo, corner to corner, the footprint of our house. There's, with the pool and the patio, there's nowhere else to put the pump in behind the house except up on the hill. It's corner to corner patio and pool. So there's no other way except to back it up to the golf course.
Are you able to provide me Mark's phone number and full name? You don't have to do it right now.
I can get it.
I've got your number here in the application, so I can call. What I'm probably going to do is make a motion to hold this for 30 days and contact the HOA and find out what they're thinking. Because they're all smarter than me. You know, my basic thought is with some golfers out there that are not exceptionally good golfers, some of whom I know very well, maybe even looking in the mirror, any structures out by that fence that would protect your pool area might make it safer for you, but I'm making fun of myself. But I'd seriously like to contact your HOA and try to work with them to come up with a mutually satisfactory resolution for everyone. So I'll contact you, assuming my motion passes. I'll be contacting you to try to do that. Thank you. Any other questions?
Could I offer one more thing again? I'm just repeating myself, but if you do come out, just see how steep the yard is behind our house, and that we do need to keep the pool at the same elevation.
Okay.
When you walk around, you'll see our patio, and then, of course, the pool wraps away around the other side of the house.
Yeah.
There's just no other place for us to put it, short of tearing out part of the patio.
Well, I appreciate that, and I look forward to trying to come up with something that'll
We
be-
appreciate that.
That'll be mutually advantageous. Thank you. You can have a seat. So my motion is going to be to hold this for 30 days so I can meet with the HOA and find out what's going on there.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Motion's been made, seconded. Please place your votes. Motion passes. You done? Hmm? We're done. Good. That's what I thought. Okay. We're complete on this. We have housekeeping, and then we'll be done. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve all minutes.
All right. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All right. Please place your votes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
All right. Please place your votes. We are adjourned. Thank you.